There's plenty of proof to underline this claim. For one, and perhaps most importantly, it has cozied up to hardline hate-spewing Muslim clerics or pledged to implement their communal demands if voted to office. The BJP has called this vote jihad. But today, on poll eve, the MVA has, in an attempt to turn the tables on the Mahayuti, accused it of conducting a, quote, note jihad, unquote. The accusation has been made on the back of a BJP senior leader being virtually detained by an opposing political party for allegedly distributing cash for votes in a hotel in Virar. Viewers, you can see those pictures in the middle of your screens. And to the right, you can see the kind of consorting that has happened between the parties of the MVA and the Muslim hardliners. Many elements of the MVA are seeking the support and the blessing, so to speak, viewers, of these hardliners that are not aligned in any way to the constitutional vision of this country or the constitutional outlook of this country. In the middle of your screens is Vinod Tawde, the General Secretary of the BJP, senior leader, who is surrounded by Bahujan Vikas Aghadi workers in a hotel in Virar. The Bahujan Vikas Aghadi workers claim the BJP General Secretary Vinod Tawde was bribing voters, that he had a whole sack full of money at his disposal. This is all taking place, as I told you, viewers, in a hotel. It's not taking place in a street. Vinod Tawde has rejected these claims, saying that the Election Commission and police should conduct a probe. 3 FIRs have been filed. BJP candidate has been named in 2, Tawde in 1, and BVA has been named in 1 FIR. The MVA has quickly accused the BJP of waging what it called was note jihad. So, the BJP-led Mahayuti calls the campaign of the MVA as vote jihad. And today, viewers, from out of nowhere comes this new coinage, this new spin called the note jihad. And it's Uddhav Thackeray who has come up with these words. Uddhav Thackeray, who is the chief of the UBT Sena and one of the principal pillars of the MVA, has come out and said, is this BJP's note jihad? Baatenge or jeetenge will distribute cash to win, it appears, is the Mahayuti's new stratagem. This is what Uddhav Thackeray has said. Rahul Gandhi, leader of the opposition, has come out and said, Modi ji, from whose safe did these 5 crores come from? Who looted public money and sent you in the tempo, unquote? Viewers, the people who are surrounding Mr. Tawde in those pictures, and I want to bring those pictures out, claim that they have recovered 5 crores from Mr. Tawde. Some of them are waving notes of money. Mr. Tawde says, this is a frame-up and an attempt by the MVA to try and deflect from the alleged vote jihad it is waging. He says, in no uncertain terms, that this is a hotel. He was addressing his party workers. He was explaining to them what they needed to do tomorrow, how to ensure that their booth was safe. This was not an exercise in buying votes. Had that been the case, he would have been amongst voters. It's a bit murky, viewers, but first listen to Vinod Tawde.
कार्यकर्ताओं को लगा कि हम पैसे बांट रहे हैं, तो चुनाव आयोग उसके इंक्वायरी करे, पुलिस इंक्वायरी करे, सीसीटीवी फुटेज ले ले, तो उसमें वास्तव जो है, मैं तो 40 साल से पार्टी में हूँ, अप्पा ठाकुर मुझे जानते हैं, क्षितिज मुझे जानते हैं, सब पार्टी जानती है, तो जो वास्तव है वो सबको पता है, और फिर भी चुनाव आयोग ने निष्पक्ष इंक्वायरी करनी चाहिए, ऐसा मेरा भी आग्रह है.
Viewers, the BJP has called the charge absurd, a bit of stage acting, and said that 5 crores is a huge amount of money. And if that was the case, it would have been all over. You could have seen it. Just like, viewers, crores were seen, lakhs were seen on a parliament table in 2009 in the Lok Sabha, viewers, wads and wads of money. 5 crores, viewers, by any estimation would occupy a significant space. We don't see that kind of money, says the BJP, on Tawde's table or in Tawde's pockets or in Tawde's room. The BJP called the charge, as I said, absurd therefore, and called upon the MVA to furnish proof of the money. Show us the money, says the BJP. Check the CCTV. Where is the money? There is no money. This is Sudhanshu Trivedi.
क्योंकि जिस प्रकार का एब्सर्ड एंड इलॉजिकल, अतार्किक, हास्यास्पद और दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण आरोप लगाया गया है कि 5 करोड़ रुपए आए थे, मैं कांग्रेस वालों से पूछना चाहता हूं, भाई ये 5 करोड़ रुपए जो होते हैं, ये कोई आज के जमाने में ऐसी तो चीज है नहीं कि कोई आदमी जेब में पॉकेट में डाल के लिए जाएगा। वो तो बहुत भारी मात्रा में दिखाई पड़ना चाहिए ना, तो उसका कहीं कोई विजुअल इंपैक्ट दिखना चाहिए, वो दिखाएं, हवा में आरोप मत लगाएं।
The police have filed 3 FIRs and a total of nearly 10 lakh have been recovered. But none of the FIRs against Tawde are in connection with the cash for votes allegations. But interestingly, beyond the incident of today, what the ecosystem is refusing to tell you is that the Election Commission itself has recovered a total of 1,000 crores worth of inducements over the campaign across both Jharkhand and Maharashtra since the polls kicked off, viewers. Indeed, enforcement agencies under the Election Commission have seized 1,000 crores of cash, liquor, drugs, freebies and other inducements. Overall, rupees 558 crores worth of seizures have been reported for the states of Maharashtra and Jharkhand alone. The 2024 seizure is 7 times higher than 2019 in Maharashtra and Jharkhand. So, it is, viewers, 7 times higher. 1,000 crores, do the math, you get what I'm saying. In 2019 assembly elections, Maharashtra recorded seizures worth 103 crores, while in 2024 the seizure is worth 660 crores. In 2019 assembly elections, Jharkhand recorded seizures worth 18 crores, and today it is worth 198 crores. All of this money, viewers, is whose we don't know. And of course, the Supreme. So we have now no idea, viewers, where this money is coming from, who it's going to, who has used it, who was planning to use it for what purpose. But let's open this up, viewers, without delay. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the BJP, is here with us, and let me begin with her since she and her party are on the spot tonight. Mr. Tawde, surrounded by envelopes that seemingly appeared, says the BVA, from his pocket, from all the people around him. They're waving it around. They detained him. The police has come, filed some FIRs. Is this, as Uddhav Thackeray says, note jihad?
You know, first and foremost, Rahul, thank you for the comprehensive introduction. Let me get straight down to the brass tacks and the hard facts. Point number 1, yes, 3 FIRs have been registered, but more importantly, the said hotel where Vinod Tawde was found addressing some people, that hotel room was registered under the name of the BJP candidate Rajan Naik, not Vinod Tawde. No CCTV footage has caught Vinod Tawde handing out cash to the 50 or 100 odd people who had gathered in that room. Also, on the 18th of November at 5 p.m., the campaigning ended as per the model code of conduct. Now, if Vinod Tawde was on site after 5 p.m. on the 18th, the additional election commission official for the Vasai Virar region, Kiran Kulkarni, has said if there has been a breach, the relevant measures will be taken to find out why that happened. But the limited point, without going round and round in circles, is that A, there is nothing to link Vinod Tawde with the 9,90,000 odd cash that was recovered on site at this hotel. The FIRs that have been registered have not been registered against Vinod Tawde, which is very, very important, which the media is not telling you. And look at the spin that the entire ecosystem and the Khan market gang is giving. The amount of money recovered is 9,90,000. I'm not saying that 9,90,000 is not a big deal, but to say that 5 crore was being distributed is hilarious and is preposterous. Because if there were 50 people in that hotel room, which is what Vinod Tawde has said, then it means that you had to give in small envelopes 10 lakh rupees each to those 50 people to come to a sum total of 5 crore rupees. Try putting 10 lakh rupees in a small envelope. It defies logic. So, pehli baat, in a small envelope, you cannot fit 10 lakh rupees each to be distributed to 50 people sitting in that room. That is the only way you can give them 5 crore rupees. The most important point is this. The moment there's an FIR, and I will not shove the hard truth under the carpet. I'm saying if there has been an exchange of money, if dirty money is sloshing around, let the culprits be nailed and let there be a fair trial. But what I also want your audience to know is this. Prior to the Karnataka Assembly elections, there was a man called R. Ambika Pati, BBMP contractor. He's the man who started this entire narrative. BJP government of Bombay is 40% commission sarkar. The Lokayukt of Karnataka has 48 hours back given BJP a clean chit. And the same R. Ambika Pati last year, 67 crores worth of cash was recovered from his house. He's the husband of a Congress municipal councillor. And the entire ecosystem said, so what if 67 crores has been recovered? Pooja Singhal, one of the most senior IAS officers in the Hemant Soren regime, before she was suspended, 107 crores recovered from a serving IAS officer close to Hemant Soren. The ecosystem said, so what? Not a big deal. 536 crores was reportedly given to Bhupesh Bagel's personal assistant prior to the Chhattisgarh polls. And the entire ecosystem said, so what?
So one second.
Point is this.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you.
And my last point, please, before I
one
finish.
second. I just want to ask you one question, which is important, and you can finish your point and take this question also. What was this gentleman doing? Why was Mr. Tawde violating MCC laws, the Model Conduct Code laws, by being not in a constituency that he was affiliated with in any way, but in another one? That is not supposed to happen.
Rahul, let's be very clear. Whether there has been a model code of conduct violation that even the collector of Vasai Virar region, Vasai Virar Taluka, Mr. Govind Bukke, he has said that there is no prima facie evidence that there was a violation, but if that has happened, the needful action will be taken, even if it means taking action against Vinod Tawde.
Okay.
And that is precisely what I am saying as the BJP's national spokesperson. But please, you told me I will be allowed to finish.
Yeah.
I need to tell your audience this. You know, if Vinod Tawde is guilty, hang him by the noose. But let your audience and let the electorate of Maharashtra realize that if you vote the Mahavinash Aghadi to power, don't forget the 1993 Mumbai bomb blast, 257 dead. Don't forget the 2007 Samjhauta Express blast, 68 dead. Don't forget the 2010 German bakery blast in Pune, 20 people dead.
I take
And
objection to this.
don't forget the Mumbai 2611
Are you saying that they are in hands and gloves with all sorts of other agents that are anti-national? Fine. You know that. Look, rhetoric. Let's set aside the rhetoric.
Hands in glove. Do you remember, Rahul, 10 seconds, do you remember the Lok Sabha 2024 campaign? Who was on the dais with Uddhav Thackeray? There was a man called Iqbal Musa, who's an underworld don. When Uddhav Thackeray was campaigning in the Mumbai Northwest constituency for Gajanam Kirtikar's son,
so viewers,
was standing right
there
next
comes
to
the
Uddhav
charge.
Thackeray.
There comes Sanju Verma's charge that this is vote jihad, that these people are actually conducting a vote jihad. They've been caught doing so, and now in a last desperate bid to redeem themselves, they are trying to pull the BJP into the drain by framing a case exercise by calling it note jihad. Mr. Gawande, let me bring you in here. Look, there are some inconsistencies, and you're an intelligent man, and that's why you're back on this show. And we had a nice debate last time. And I feel that there are some inconsistencies. I mean, it started out with the BVA leader coming out and saying 5 crores, 5 crores, 5 crores. Is now whittled down to a seizure of 9 lakh something. I'm not saying that is insignificant. That's a big amount of money. Even 1 rupee unaccounted for should not be there. That agreed. But I want to ask you, sir, there is no proof of the money. If you remember in 2009, there was money. There was money in Parliament sloshing around, and it was, I won't say comparable, but it was a lot. Even if today you say that 500 rupee notes were used, you know that 5 crores doesn't just fit an envelope or someone's pocket. Where was the money? Where was the money?
No.
Where was the money? You surrounded this individual, not even a fly could get out, but the money wasn't there. So, Mr. Gawande, are you trying to use this note jihad to deflect from the vote jihad? First of all, haven't your party associates who have gone and met individuals like Mr. Nomani, and let me ask you this question, do you feel in any way valorous that one of your principal candidates along with his Bollywood wife turned activist called upon Mr. Nomani, who is not in any way a human rights activist that she professes to be, or Mr. Fahad professes to be, neither is a gender rights activist. Mr. Nomani actually is quite the opposite. He believes in polygamy. He believes, and most importantly, please listen to this, in nikah halala. He opposed the triple talaq legislation. He wants to keep women in the veil of patriarchy in many which ways. And those pictures are there. And then from the Samajwadi Party, you have another individual of great pedigree from your own camp who is sharing the dais with an individual who has called for Ghazwa-e-Hind. No wonder the BJP today is accusing you of creating or perpetuating, if you came back to power, a situation where India's territorial integrity would be under threat, Mr. Gawande.
Thank you so much for that high praise and two very loaded questions, Rahul. I think let me start off by saying the very obvious, right? One is that the BVA is neither alliance partner nor a part of the Mahavikas Aghadi. In fact, we're contesting against them in that seat. So this is not an operation pulled off by us in any way, shape or form. This is an allegation we've been making consistently, that this is an election that has seen unprecedented use of money and muscle power in Maharashtra. And this is a living proof of that, which is why we're making the claims we're making. Now let's get to Vinod Tawde ji, who's an incredibly senior leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He's contested many elections himself and knows about the electoral process of this country. He should not have been at that hotel. This is a clear model code of conduct violation. Now, this is not something that is new to this country. We know 48 hours before, you are not supposed to be campaigning. Now, you make the claim that this is not 5 crores, but 10 lakhs. Now, my counter claim is the same election commission, the same flying squads that have the time to search Yogendra Pawar's company in Baramati and find nothing, do not have the competence to be able to catch this 10 lakhs before it reaches this space, before it's apparently planted. So are you not seeing a failure of your law and order mechanism in the state? Are you not seeing this as a complete failure of the government, which, let me remind you, just yesterday failed to protect a former home minister from being stone pelted to an extent that the man was bleeding from his head, my own party leader, Anil Deshmukh ji. So the real questions have to be asked today about the complete descent into chaos in Maharashtra, where your law and order mechanism is failing. You know, it's a laughable thing that they're saying it's been
One second,
Please,
please, let me continue this. Please, I don't want crosstalk. Please, I don't want crosstalk. Please, Sanju Verma, I don't want crosstalk. Please, let me moderate this. Let me moderate this. Let me moderate this, please. Let me moderate this. First of all, so you accuse me of asking you a loaded question. Which part of my question?
I didn't. That's not an accusation. I'm saying they're very good questions.
No,
they're not
you
an
said
accusation
that,
at all. Rahul.
okay, they were loaded. Now, which part of the question was loaded? The fact that some of your allies, including a party member, was sitting in the company of an individual who has extremely regressive point of view. Now, on live,
I want to respond to that.
Yes, so number one. Yes, so please tell me, do you think Mr. Nomani represents the progressive values of the MVA? If yes, if you are against same-sex alliances, if you are against very important provisions like polygamy, etc., then yes, it's progressive, but he isn't. So, do you support polygamy?
On this show today,
Mr. Gawande, do you support polygamy?
No, let me clarify.
Yeah.
I want to clarify on this show today that Fahad is one of our most progressive candidates.
Yes.
And the way in which his wife and his toddler child have been dragged in online and beyond.
Answer the question. Forget that. Answer the question.
Rahul,
Do you think Modi is not? No, hang on. Do you think Modi is not dragged through the mud every day? That Rahul Gandhi doesn't lampoon him and vice versa? Now, one second.
Can you please see can you please
This
ask
man
the
is
One
making
Mahdi
second,
business
whether
allegations
Mr.
they
on me
endorse
to make
Zishan
Ms.
a
Verma,
Siddiqui for
please.
meeting Mr.
Ms. Verma,
Nomani?
please let him
No, do
speak.
they endorse Zishan Siddiqui for meeting Mr. Nomani?
No,
Just
I want
last
to
week.
ask you. I want to
Zishan
ask you a
Siddiqui
simple
is
question.
their own alliance partner.
I want to
Is
ask you a
Zishan
question.
Siddiqui going to be condemned?
Look, I just want to
I
ask you a
don't like
question.
getting personal on these debates, Rahul, because
No, but this is not
unfortunately,
personal. This is
not
an
a
important point.
endorsement.
Excuse me,
This is not an
Ms. Verma,
endorsement.
please. This
You
is
will
one
be
second.
asked tough questions.
One
The
second.
BJP is also asked tough questions, and I don't complain.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
play the victim card.
We have
I don't
said
play the
so.
victim
We've
card.
said so. One minute. Let's not listen. Let's not shout over each other. It's not going to get us anywhere. I just want to understand. Yeah, Karan Verma wants to come in. Karan Verma, look, I didn't get a specific answer. Now we suddenly talk about 10 lakhs from 5 crores. It's come down to 10 lakhs. That 10 lakhs also we don't know where it is, whose it is.
So, firstly, Rahul, I want to address what Anish just said, that he's one of the most progressive voices. Well, he's standing next to a man who in May 2023 said, and I'm just paraphrasing that women should not be allowed to go to schools even if they wear a hijab. Somebody needs to accompany them. That is the height of progressiveness he's standing next to, just so you know. So, do you approve of this man who says triple talaq is fine? Who has even gone on to say that child marriage is fine? Can you stand with such a man and then claim that he's a feminist or a champion of human rights or champion of women rights? So, the hypocrisy dies then and there. Now, secondly, Rahul, whoever came up with this entire conspiracy, 5 crore, 10 lakhs, I think first of all, these conspiracy writers should be fired so fast by the MVA because their entire purpose has been defeated. It was a wafer-thin plot. This man has gone up and said, bring the CCTV footage, divulge everything you have, hang me by the noose. That is what Sanju Verma ji just said. Can you imagine the level of transparency they are talking? And our friend Kamru Zaman and the spokesperson from Sharad Pawar ji's, they don't see anything wrong. In fact, they see the ED as fascist when there are 250 crores collected from Dheeraj Sahu's house. They don't find anything wrong and they play victim when piles of cash is discovered from Partha Chatterjee's home. When Hemant Soren is found with piles of cash, there they say, oh, we have to establish a link. Don't jump the process. Modi is dictatorial. So look at this hypocrisy. Not a single penny has been identified.
Hypocrisy, thy name is MVA. Kamru Chaudhary, quick response, sir. And then I want to bring in the BJP national spokesperson and the Sharad faction once again into a big clash. Yes, Kamru Chaudhary.
Just a small correction for Karan Verma out here. It's not 250 crores. It is 350 crores that was collected from Dheeraj Sahu's house. And he had all accounted for. The income tax has accepted the cash as legitimate business cash. And he has paid the penalty for the cash that was recovered for him. Unlike the 4.8 crores that was recovered during 2024 Lok Sabha elections from Dr. K. Sudhakar of the BJP in Karnataka. What happened to the 4.8 crore that was seized from there?
Sir, who is in government in Karnataka right now? Who is in government in Karnataka right now?
Rahul,
who is in government? It's the Congress viewers. If the Congress had any problem with this, they should be prosecuting that man and bringing him to justice. But that doesn't strike Kamru Chaudhary at all. But Mr. Kamru Chaudhary, stick to this. Forget the whataboutery. I'm only asking you a simple question. Stick to this. I want to ask you, is this being generally done to once again shift the attention away from quote unquote vote jihad? Simple, Kamru Chaudhary. Simple.
Who started, if you want to specific answer out of today's topic and go to the vote jihad, okay, then it's fine. Who started the vote jihad in the country? It is the same bigoted Chief Minister of Assam, Himanta Biswa Sharma, who said, we do not need the Muslim votes. BJP does not need Muslim votes.
1 second, let him finish.
20% of the country's population have been termed as Ghuspetiyas. Their Places of Worship Act, the Waqf Act, the UCC, all have been linked to appeasement politics in the country. And now you come and tell it's a vote jihad. आपका घर में मैं दावत खाने के लिए जाओ, आप बोलो कि आपको तो invited ही नहीं हो.
Okay, Kamru Sahab, it takes some cheek to say that Place of Worship Act was not the gratuitous act of appeasement. I mean, come on, Kamru Chaudhary, such a one-sided act. Anyhow, Yes, Mr.
Rahul.
Miss Verma wants to come in.
Thank you.
Let's get
Thank
her
you.
point of
Rahul,
view.
you
Yeah.
gave 10 minutes to
Rahul,
Mr. Sanjeev
Rahul,
Verma,
I
the
need to
noted
make my
economist
points
of the
because you
century.
don't like me heckling the others. I
Yeah,
need my
your
time to
point.
make my points.
Make your
Thank
point.
you.
2 minutes. I need to move on also after that. I'll take Kamru Chaudhary's response. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So please give me my 2 minutes, Rahul.
Yeah, yeah.
First and foremost, let's get this very clear.
Yeah.
People who are sitting here on your show today, be it, from the Sharad Pawar faction or the Congress, they are trying to take the moral high ground. Let no one forget that Sachin Waze, who was suspended from the police force in 2004 and then expelled from the police force in 2007, he was the official spokesperson of Uddhav Sena. He was incarcerated for the custodial death of a young 27-year-old engineer called Khwaja Yunus. This man was made by Uddhav Thackeray the head of the crime intelligence unit. Today he's still serving prison time in Taloja jail.
One second, Sanju Verma, do you realize that you have an ally that you have accused of colluding with Dawood Ibrahim? Come on.
Can I finish, Rahul?
And he's standing
Can I
for
finish?
election.
Give me my 2 minutes.
He's standing for
Can
election.
I finish?
No, I mean,
Can
this is
I
the
finish?
point.
Please give me my 2 minutes. You told me you'll give me my 2 minutes.
Okay, take 2
my
minutes.
first point.
Nimota in the
Sachin
making.
Waze, accused of a custodial death of a young Musalman, was made the head of the crime intelligence unit by Uddhav Thackeray.
Okay.
And this is the same Uddhav Thackeray when people were falling like a pack of flies during the peak COVID wave of 2020
what about
and 2021.
I have to call it
He did not
out.
come out of
Fair
Matosri.
enough.
He was
Fair enough.
ensconced in Matosri.
Fair
and
enough.
my last point, Rahul, you told me you'll give me 2 minutes. My
Yes,
last
yes,
point is
finish.
this.
Make your last point.
Yes. My last point, why are you so rattled, Rahul? I don't see you rattled normally.
I'm
Can I
not
finish,
rattled.
please? Thank you. Yes, you seem to be. Now let me try being Anish Gawande and accuse you of, asking me loaded questions, but I won't play the victim card. The Maharashtra audience needs to simply know this. The Atal Setu, as in Maharashtra Trans Harbour Link project, was envisioned by Nehru in 1961, completed after 62 years in 2023,
Yes.
thanks to Narendra Modi.
Sure.
Mumbai Coastal
Just 10 more
Road,
seconds.
completed
Okay.
thanks to Narendra Modi.
Okay.
Mumbai Metro Aqua Line will be completed by May 2025,
Yes.
thanks to Narendra Modi. Navi Mumbai Airport to
Okay.
be completed thanks to Prime Minister Narendra
Okay,
Modi.
okay.
Navi Mumbai Airport, by the way, was inaugurated by Rajiv Gandhi way back in 1988.
No, I'm not. Look,
Can
we
you
are not
imagine?
saying that no work has been done, etc., etc. I just want to come back to the point, viewers. Look, both these sides haven't quite covered themselves in glory, and this is really the median. And I want the guests back on the show. I just want to quickly bring in Karan on this point. Karan Verma, look, we would be pretending to have buried our heads in the sand if we were to ignore Nawab Malik, who is supposed to have been somebody who was part of the D company, according to some people. In fact, the BJP. Today, he is contesting on a ticket and is a Mahayuti leader. Then you have the great Ashok Chavan, who was accused of actually profiting from the sacrifice of our martyrs. Which party is he in, viewers? He is also part of the Mahayuti today. So I'm asking you, Karan Verma, we know this has been a very hard and bitterly contested election. Who's going to get the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day from the public? Very quickly, 30 seconds.
So at the end of the day, Rahul, it's a choice that people have to make, and the choice is very clear in my opinion. Here is a alliance which is openly mollycoddled with Maulanas, with ulemas that have spoken about releasing our people. They've talked about taking care of our encroached land as per Waqf, and they've openly met people who've said कि अभी आखिरी जंग बाकी है, कयामत के दिन की आखिरी जंग बाकी है. I'm talking about this Azhari, Salman Azhari, who Abu Azmi met today. So this is a side, this is a faction, the Sharad faction, which invented the 13th bomb blast. Just to keep the pseudo-secularism alive, they said the 13th bomb blast back in 93 happened in the Hindu area. So the choice is clear. Here we have a side that is polarized along religious
So
lines.
corruption is not an issue, are you saying? The politics of convenience is also not an issue. Is that what you're saying? It all cancels.
So Rahul, once you betray the mandate back in 2019, which was for the BJP Shiv Sena, then BJP is not here to be a sitting duck and lose the election. They are a political beast.
So all is fair in war. Basically,
I'm not saying all is fair, but
Well,
BJP
I mean,
is
that's
not
what you're
here to
implying.
lose.
Anyhow, viewers, look, the fact of the matter is that this has been a very cynical campaign run by both sides. Let's call it out for what it is. Yes, one side seems to have acquitted itself, according to some, within their own ranks with greater grace.
Uddhav Thackeray has abandoned his father's
with
legacy.
grace. The point is, viewers, if corruption was the BJP's stronghold, they have compromised with it. If progressivism and liberalism was the MVA's calling card, then I'm sorry, those pictures on your screens, viewers, of those Maulanas sitting in the Godi of the MVA's candidates is a complete negation, viewers, of any progressivism. The choice is a hard one. It's between 6 parties this time and their candidates. Let me tell you, ideology is pretty much dead in the water. We don't know what's going to happen, but tomorrow do tune in at 6 in the evening, because we'll be bringing you a poll of polls. Many channels will once again get into the exit polling game, will shoot themselves in their foot. But viewers, it'll be interesting to see if maybe this one time they get it right. What if they do? So do tune in. I want to move on because, viewers, this is a story that will be told only once in 7 decades. It has taken 77 years, but it has happened at last. The Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams will soon dispense with the services of all non-Hindus working in the TTD, which is the board, and surrender them to the Andhra Pradesh government. These people will not be sacked. They will just be reassigned to the Andhra Pradesh government to find them jobs outside of the ken, of the ambit of the temple. This essentially guarantees the long pending restoration of Hinduness of the Tirumala Tirupati temple. Yes, viewers, here are the various big reform measures that have been announced, and they are on your screens. No non-Hindus in the temple administration from here on. VRS or transfer for non-Hindu employees is open offer. Either you take the VRS or you get transferred, and basically the government will assign you a job somewhere far away. Ban on political speeches at the temple premises to ensure the spiritual sanctity of this great temple is not defiled. Procure superior quality ghee for the prasadam, very important, and panel to suggest the plan to reduce the darshan time so that a large number of people, and no VIP darshans either, so that a large number of people can avail. Believers can come and go through and find their moment with the God, with the resident deity, without being hustled along. The step is being welcomed by the Hindu community, which has seen the NDA champion some of its most significant and sensitive demands. The NDA, viewers, under it, the last 10 years under Modi, the Ayodhya Ram Temple construction, a long-standing demand, has been fulfilled on the back of a Supreme Court verdict. In record time, a temple is now constructed, inaugurated as such. 500-year-old long quest to restore Hindu dignity has been realized. The Kashi corridor revamp that included the expansion of temple premises and the preservation of ghats and Hindu spiritual heritage has also been undertaken. Strengthened cow protection laws in an effort to firewall Hindu sensitivities. Reclamation of Hindu civilizational grandeur by promoting yoga, Ayurveda and other traditional wellness. Install the Sengol in the newly constructed parliament. There you can see the photograph of that, to give pride of place to Hindu civilizational symbols. The renaming of cities that erroneously lent sanctity to settler colonialism since 1000 AD. Policy and laws to end the legal discrimination against Hindus that exists. And viewers, many people are asking, why did it take 77 years? Why? Why in a country with a Hindu majority should the sanctity of a place of worship, one of the principal places of worship, not have been maintained to the standards that it is supposed to be? Viewers, let's open this up. Dushyant Sridhar, Vedic scholars with us. Kamru Chaudhary stays with us. K. Pattabhi, Ram, national spokesperson of the TDP. Mr. Pattabi Ram, let me first bring you into this conversation. I want to ask you, it has taken 77 years to restore the temple's Hinduness. Why do you think, sir, others did not do this earlier? What do you think was the reason?
Yeah, good evening, Rahul. Good evening, my other friends in the panel. See, the decisions which were taken by TTD today, it is because of the situations that have arisen because of the 5-year misrule of the Jagan Reddy's government. We have seen how, TTD's funds were misused, TTD's funds were looted. Religious propaganda of other religions has become rampant on top of the hill in Tirumala. So, to address all these situations, the TTD had taken corrective measures. So, all these decisions is because of the misgovernance of Jagan Reddy, who had no respect on Hindus and Hindu religion. We have seen how hundreds of temples were attacked, idols were destroyed, chariots were burned. So it is the responsibility of the current NDA government in Andhra Pradesh, to give that confidence to one religion, which was persecuted, which was attacked continuously. See, we believe in religious harmony.
So you believe that Hindus were disenfranchised from their faith, and that their faith has been nationalized over all these years, and they have been not given their due. Okay.
I'm only talking about Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, Andhra Pradesh. Let me bring in Kamru Chaudhary. Let me bring in Kamru Chaudhary. Kamru Chaudhary, it appears to me, and Dushyant Sridhar is there, he can also put this into perspective for me. But Kamru Chaudhary, this will underline the claim that Prime Minister Modi makes at the center, that only the NDA puts Hindus' interests first. The others have followed a mean-spirited appeasement politics that has discriminated against Hindu interests to basically coddle a vote bank. How do you respond to that charge on the back of this? Why has it taken 77 years, sir?
Hey, Rahul, I can't be in sync with you more tonight than on this topic particularly. Why I say this, there might be different voices on this issue, why non-Hindus have been removed from the temple board. It's a welcome decision. I like it, because being a devout Hindu, who it's a question of faith, asta, with which he goes to the temple. There is a certain prescribed norms within the Hindu religion wherein a Hindu goes to offer to the Lord, pray in front of him. And in that case, I don't believe there should not be any milavati with some non-Hindus out there. It should be purely a question that has to be managed by the Hindus themselves. I believe all religious institutions should be managed by the community itself. Why should the government come, and what business does the government have in managing the temples or the Waqf board or a places of religious importance? There is a difference. Because when you accuse the non-Hindus of funds being mismanaged, then I find it objectionable. But when you say that because of the faith, there should not be place for non-Hindus, I agree with it.
Sure. Mr. Chaudhary, then tell me something. If it's so clear to you, this principle, why didn't previous regimes? It's not as if the Congress never had governments in Andhra Pradesh or in other parts of this country. They've even ruled at the center. Why didn't they give Hindus their rights back? Simple question.
Okay. The question out here it is that, you see, just now my dear friend Mr. Ram from the TDP, he brought out this question that the funds were being misused. There is a security question out there. Around $200 billion of temple cash and gold is lying with the temples in our country right now. Who manages such a huge amount of wealth that Indian temples possesses? So it's a security question that the government must come out with a way with which they are managed.
The Muslim community through the Waqf board can manage crores and crores and crores and crores and crores and crores worth of property without any oversight.
That's a wrong narrative.
How is it a wrong narrative?
The Waqf CEO, Waqf board is managed by the government.
Oh,
The
right.
CEO is appointed by the
Viewers,
government.
let
The
me tell
members
you-
are appointed by the
let me
government.
tell you, viewers,
No
let me tell
community
you-
appoints
let me tell you-
any member in the Waqf board.
Let me tell you, viewers, it is by Muslims, for Muslims, of Muslims. Here it is
No.
not. It is not. Now, one second.
Yeah, there should be parity
And
now.
there
If the
should be
temple board
parity.
is without
But why
non-Hindus-
wasn't there parity? That means, viewers, someone was not following the principles of secularism, Dushyant Sridhar. Why? That's the question. And artfully, Kamruji did not answer me. He took it on to another course. I asked him, fine, if it is so clear that there should be parity, why wasn't there parity? Why were Hindus on this second pedestal?
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. I heard them very patiently at the outset. Though I have been consistently telling that government has no business to be in temples. Well, the salient features of the current TTD board, which says that there should be procurement of Shuddha ghee for the prasadam and reducing the darshan time, all this is a welcome move. I just pray to Srinivasa Venkateshwara that all this fructifies for the current TTD board. That said, you had a very pertinent question. When you feel that your panelists have felt that there is injustice meted and now justice has been restored, your question was, why wasn't there this thought about for all these decades? I have a very simple answer to this. Secularism has always been a one-way traffic, Rahul. It was always expected of the Hindus to uphold secularism. We had to accommodate non-Hindus in all places of worship. We had to say that government needs to interfere to manage our temples, whereas non-Hindus were non-Muslims or non-Christians were not allowed in those places of worship. They were never brought under the purview of the government. So, and last of all, just a very quick point. I heard Kamru Saab make one point that, yes, I welcome this decision, that people of that particular religion have to manage that particular properties. Well, I don't know where he's trying to lead this argument to, but to a very simple question, the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam has never laid claim to a 1,600 or 1,000-year-old mosque, whereas on the other hand, Waqf has already claimed a 1,500-year-old Shiva temple. So if at all there are non-Muslims that are brought into that board, it is to only resolve such issues where lands of 1,200 acres in Vijaypura Taluk was claimed. TTD never claimed that. So in such a case, Hindus can manage temples. So if his comment was leading to this particular Waqf management, this is the answer.
Okay, well, viewers, look, the fact of the matter, I don't want to get into crosstalk, Kamruji. I don't want to. There's no point. The point is...
No, I am not going the cross. A small correction out here. Hindus have been appointed in madrasa boards also, teaching pure religious this thing. Around 10,000 teachers in madrasas
the madrasa
of
boards
West Bengal.
are managed and
around
funded by the
6,000.
Indian government. Sorry, they are funded by the Indian government.
So-
it's taxpayer money, so there has to be oversight. They're completely different example. Again, I said.
Madrasa is a religious
No,
institution
one second, sir. It might be so, but it is funded. Is it not funded by Indian taxpayers, not one particular community? Yes or no?
Who funded the Diwali this time in
viewers,
Uttar Pradesh?
So just have a look at
Who
this.
funded-
viewers.
who
Look at
funded
this.
showering of flowers on the
Look at
Kaveri?
this. Now, hang on. All I was getting at is why has it taken 77 years? Because there's a mindset problem, viewers. A mindset problem. Where appeasement reigned and defined the parameters, the framework of secularism in this country. You were secular as long as you kept the Hindu a little down. That gave you the bragging rights. Well, viewers, that can't be, can it? The state must be equidistant from all faiths. And today, a massive step has been taken in that direction. But Hindus must ask themselves, why did they allow their interests to be undermined for 77 years? Who's to blame? And how are they going to respond to it? Viewers, I want to move on because we are now going to talk about a story that is integral to the territorial integrity of this country. Manipur is once again burning. Manipur is burning, and the situation there is a very complex one. There is a religious fault line, and many are today saying that there is an attempt being made by forces inimical to India to try and break this state away and make it part of a larger, greater state. Viewers, many people have also detailed how weapons are coming in from across borders in Myanmar. Chinese weapons, weapons that are manufactured from elsewhere and put into the hands of individuals who are associated with insurgent groups, and that they are using a certain existing problem to fan the flames, destabilize, finally foment a kind of insurgency we saw in Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir, viewers, and ensure that there is a split in the state. Now, viewers, the ecosystem, however, has been accusing the center of not doing enough. The ecosystem sees this merely as a law and order problem. As I told you, it's much beyond that. There's a war against drugs and cultivation, and some people have a problem about the Indian state trying to clean out drugs from Manipur. And there are vested interests who want to bring down the people who are doing so. There are many, many wheels within wheels. I cannot fault one side or the other, but there is certainly a larger ambit here within which the conversation is not being located, an ideological ambit. And we are speaking tonight to Manipur's Chief Minister. This is a story, a version that you don't get to hear because no one wants to hear him. Biren Singh, the Chief Minister, is here with us. Thank you very much, Chief Minister Singh, for taking the time out. I want to ask you, the situation is quite bad. Even your ancestral house has not been spared. This points to, many would say, a growing resentment against you for what people say is your mishandling of the situation. You seem to have lost the trust of even some Methi groups that you represent. What is your reaction to this?
That is very unfortunate. It is not doing by the others community. It is happening within the communities of Meiteis due to some misunderstanding and a politically motivated agenda. And now everything is improved and will get better soon.
No, you're saying you're going to get better soon. You talk about peace, amity, but the violence is cyclical. It seems to constantly return, doesn't seem to end. How do we take you at your word?
Most of the people are not trying to go deeply the cause of the present crisis. That is the reason why politically some people want to take the advantage of toppling the government. Somebody want the internal fight, internal, supremacy. That kind of things is happening. It happens in the politics in every part of the country, but particularly in Manipur, during such troubled time, this kind of politics should not be there, I hope.
Well, one of the constituents of your government has just left you, quit you. And some of them believe that you fanned the fault lines by injecting religion and being partial towards Meiteis, and that's why Kukis don't trust you, others don't trust you. How do you respond to this charge, Chief Minister, sir?
I might be the first person who launched Go to Hills and uniting all the tribals and the valley peoples, Meitei peoples or Meitei Pangal. I might be the lone person who constructed 34 museum for 34 tribes. Manipur is not like any other state. Here we don't have any religious based talk, fight, nothing is here. It is a propaganda. The present fight is not religious. It is purely fight between the indigenous people of Manipur and illegal migrants from the Myanmar and other neighboring country. And because of the huge illegal migrants influx in the state of Manipur, we are facing demographic imbalance and drugs menace amongst the youth, not only in Manipur, it has been spread to entire Northeast, and the drugs from the Myanmar, from the Gondal Triangle, is taken to the mainland India. I am the lone gatekeeper here in the far Northeast. I am stopping it in Moreh Gate, Imphal, and other places. And I'm fighting war on drugs since 2018. These are the few things who the mainland people doesn't know, and the mainland media also doesn't know the ground realities, and they also never try to know. That is the very unfortunate part of our Indian society. Northeast is a forgotten part of the India before coming of Bhajpa government. कोई कुछ ख्याल नहीं है. Nobody care. We are having 398 kilometer unguarded border with the Myanmar. Myanmar is a neighbor country of China. Why nobody bothered it? But only when the Pacific government comes in the center, the taking care of the Northeast people started. Blaming is very easy to anybody.
Okay, so Chief Minister, sir, if I get you right, you're basically saying you're the last sentinel. And you're putting it down to the mainland's ignorance, perhaps over a period of time, you seem to suggest that they forgot the Northeast. But you're also putting it down to a malignant campaign by the ecosystem that is trying to stop you from actually rooting out the drug menace, etc., etc. Am I getting you right here? Is that what you're saying?
Why not? That is the facts. Somebody, those who knows the ground realities, the facts, will support how the indigenous people of Manipur are surviving. We are becoming day by day minorities. Our land is losing. Our indigenous people are becoming minorities. Widely affected our youth by drugs.
You have been tracing the origins of the conflict to UPA era Home Minister Mr. Chidambaram. That's what you've said. Could you elaborate? How are you linking him to all of this?
You see, main reason of the crisis present facing by the Manipur is the illegal migrants from the neighboring country. Unrecognized villages, increasing our numbers of unrecognized villages in the state of Manipur. Mass deforestation by the illegal migrants for construction of their houses and a plantation of poppy. These are the few things. That's why by the respected Chidambaram ji, the former Union Home Minister, mentioning the solution of Manipur will be dividing on autonomy, blah, blah. Then he is blaming the responsibility is the Chief Minister. That is why my simple reply was, when he was the Union Home Minister, he visited here in 2008, and he, along with the then Chief Minister of Manipur, Congress, and Shika, Congress Chief Minister, both together signed and suspension of operation with the militants, Kuki militants, who belongs to Myanmar. One example, the present ZRA president, Thanglen Pao Guite, is the Myanmarese national. He fought elections in Myanmar as an MP. Chidambaramji, and when he was the Home Minister, he visited here and he allowed to sign SU agreement with that particular person from Myanmar. And now still that man is inside the soil of the India. What I mean, he started recognizing that illegal Myanmar citizen to sign an agreement within the India state. Then that is the beginning of opening the door to comes many Myanmaris inside India,
Okay.
inside Manipur. Because of that, we are facing today demographic imbalance.
So you're saying that Mr. Chidambaram allowed foreigners to enter India, to enter Manipur, and even signed the suspension of operations agreements with underground groups of illegal migrants and immigrants. That's what you're saying. And you are saying that the vested interests continue to take you apart. Well, Chief Minister, sir, thank you very much for speaking to me. Best of luck. You will need it. But viewers, there has to be a greater attention, more conversations around Manipur. And let's hope that we can, as the media, focus on the issues. Remember, this is a powder keg, and it is not the binary that it is being reduced to. Remember that, viewers. I leave it at this.
Now, the Supreme Court has come down heavily, warning the Delhi government that there should be no rollback on grab curbs without their approval, even if the AQI dips below 450. Now, amidst the crisis, the Delhi government shuts offline classes for 10th and 12th graders, while Gurugram halts schooling for all students till Saturday. Now, Delhi University too switches to online learning, caught in the smog spiral. Now, as citizens chalk on pollution, ministers indulge in blame game. Delhi Minister Gopal Rai accuses BJP ruled state of flooding Delhi with diesel buses despite Grab 4 ban in place. Now, meanwhile, he also hints at reviving the odd-even scheme, vowing extreme measures to combat the crisis. The issue also raised during a side event organized by health professionals and environmentalists at COP29, which marked a health day, highlighting that fossil fuel burning has not just made the climate worse, but also triggered a health emergency due to surging air pollution level in places like Delhi.
Delhi continues to breathe poisonous air. The air quality index touched 441 on Sunday night. It continued to surge to around 458 and 480 by Monday morning. Now, Grab 4, which is the stage 4 of graded response action plan, has already been implemented across the national capital region, which places restrictions on the vehicular traffic as well as construction activities and other industrial activities in this entire region. As you can see behind me, a toxic smog has already covered this entire city, making it difficult for people in the city to breathe. Both the concentrations of PM10 and PM2.5 have already breached the safe limit set by the World Health Organization. Now, the bad news here is that according to the latest forecast of the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, the severe air quality is likely to remain at least till the 21st of November. That means the air quality index is likely to remain above 400. Now, so far during the October and the first half of November, we saw that the air quality remained in the poor to very poor category. So we did not really see the AQI peaking. But now, this is the worst that Delhi can get as of now. This toxic smog is likely to remain for most part of the winter season. Pollution remains high throughout the year in Delhi, but now it just gets very, very, very difficult. Moreover, restrictions have already placed in various other activities as well. Schools have been urged to shift to online classes, not just for the primary kids, but for other students as well, except for class 10th and 12th students. Now, the Commission for Air Quality Management in Delhi NCR has been reviewing the situation on a very daily basis. And we'll see till what time the Grab 4 measures need to remain into place. As of now, all the activities that have been suggested under GRAB 2, GRAB 3 are also in action across the city. Now, this toxic haze is going to make it very difficult for people to step out, and that is why they are urged to reduce their exposure, and but especially children and the elderly people who are most vulnerable to the deteriorating air quality in this region. So yes, mask up Delhi.
दिल्ली सरकार अपने स्तर पे लगातार काम कर रही है। दिल्ली के अंदर ग्रेड 4 लागू हुआ है। दिल्ली के अंदर आज अभी हमने अधिकारियों के साथ उच्च स्तरीय बैठक की है। सभी विभागों को निर्देश दिया गया है कि ग्रेड 4 के नियम को कड़ाई से लागू किया जाए और किसी तरह की कोई लापरवाही न बरती जाए। हम अपने हिस्से का काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार से मैं कहना चाहता हूं, अब तो जाग जाओ, अब तो कुछ करो।
बहुत मुश्किल से हो रहा है, बहुत दिक्कत होता है, साल से मिलते नहीं है, तो इसलिए हम मास्क पहन के आते हैं।
पहली बात तो टीचरों ने हमें कोई अलाउ नहीं करा था, ना मैसेज डाला था क्या छुट्टी है। अब ये कितने दिन के, 1 दिन के 2 दिन के, पॉल्यूशन तो बहुत दिन से हो रहा है। ये आज ही बच्चों को छुट्टी दिया और इतनी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है कि हद से ज़्यादा। आंखों में जलन हो रही है, सांस लेने में दिक्कत हो रही है, और मतलब गले में कुछ अलग सी खारिश सी हो रही है। बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम ही है,
काफ़ी दिक्कत हो रही है, बहुत बीमारियां भी लग रही हैं लोगों को प्रदूषण की वजह से। तो वही प्रॉब्लम है, उसकी वजह से मास्क भी पहन के आने पड़ रहे हैं हमें।
प्रदूषण तो है, प्रदूषण तो लिमिट क्रॉस कर चुका है, और इतना प्रदूषण है कि आप घर में।
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma.